Let's just say it out loud, shall we? Patriarchy really looked at the most creative, life-giving, pleasure-holding, death and rebirth cycling portal on the planet and said, that's the problem. That's the dirty thing. That's the shameful one. Hide it, control it, make her afraid of it. And then had the audacity to spend the next several thousand years being absolutely obsessed with it. Neurotic, really. The witch trials weren't about witches. The purity culture wasn't about purity. The endless legislation, the religious doctrine, the medical pathologizing of a female desire, none of it was never about morality. It was about terror. A very specific, very ancient terror that lives in the bones of every system built to keep women small. They were afraid of what a woman becomes when she actually knows what she holds between her legs. And they were right to be. Here's what they knew, even if they couldn't say it cleanly. A woman who is fully in her body is ungovernable. A woman who knows her desire, not the performed, palatable, decorative version of it, but the real thing, the deep, ancient, intelligent thing, cannot be easily manipulated, cannot be kept enslaved in a marriage, a religion, a political system, a relationship that asks her to betray herself in exchange for safety. A woman fully alive in her pussy is a woman who cannot be colonized. So, they colonized the pussy first. They called it dirty. They called it dangerous. They called it the source of men's downfall, the seat of sin, the thing that needed to be covered, controlled, medicated, legislated, and if necessary, cut out entirely. Cool strategy, very creative, very threatened. But here's the thing about curses. And I say this as a woman who works with energy for a living. They have a return address. What is desecrated does not simply disappear. What is violated does not simply absorb the violation and go quiet. No. The sacred has a memory longer than any civilization that tried to suppress it. And it has a particular relationship with consequence that does not require your belief or function. Call it karma, call it energy, call it the universe having excellent taste in justice. But when a man approaches a woman's body, her pussy, her womb, her sovereign erotic territory with entitlement, with contempt, with the arrogance of someone who believes he is entitled to take what was never offered, he does not just get away with it. He doesn't walk away clean. And I want to be precise here because this is not poetry and this is not metaphor. This is the oldest law there is. To violate the holy grail. And that is exactly what the pussy is. What she has always been. The holy grail that men spent centuries searching for outside themselves because they could not bear to honor it in front of them. To violate it is to invite a reckoning that no amount of charm or status or money or spiritual bypassing or legal maneuvering will outrun. Not eventually, not maybe, not if the stars align, always. Something is set in motion now in the collective. Something old and something absolutely certain of itself. I have watched it enough times to stop being surprised by it, really. The life that looked fine on the outside begins to quietly rot from somewhere underneath. The relationships curdle, the luck turns, the body starts keeping score in ways that the mind cannot explain away. The man who took what was not his finds that something essential has been subtracted from him. A vitality, a grace, a protection he didn't know he had until it was gone. Because pussy isn't soft in the way they told you it was soft. It isn't passive. It isn't just the receiving end of someone else's story. It is a fucking gate. It is the only gate. And gates have laws. Not the laws men wrote in books to manage female sexuality. the older laws, the ancient laws, the ones that were already operating before the first temple was built, before the first holy text was composed by men who had never once sat in ceremony with their own darkness. The laws that say what enters here matters. What happens here happens to you. And those who treat the sacred as disposable will find that the sacred has a very, very long memory and absolutely no interest in forgiveness before accountability. The holy grail, which women hold between their legs, does not forget who violated it. And it does not need a court date to deliver its verdict. It is happening now in the collective. Judgment Day is here. I want to talk about shame for a moment, because shame is the primary weapon and it deserves to be named directly. The shame that most women carry about their pussy is not theirs. Let me say that again with more force. It is not yours, my sister. It was installed in you. It was a deliberate architecture refined over centuries, designed to keep you at a distance from the very source of your fucking power. Because a woman who is ashamed of her body cannot fully inhabit it. And a woman who cannot fully inhabit her body is so much easier to manage. Shame is a leash by the patriarchy, a very elegant, very internalized leash that means they don't even have to be in the room anymore to control you. You do it to yourself. You police your own desires. You shrink from your own aliveness. You apologize for wanting, for feeling, for knowing. I spent years now unknowing the shame that was handed to me by my mother, by my grandmother, and all the women that came before me. Years of ceremony, of somatic work, of sitting in the fire of my own reclamation. And what I found on the other side of that shame was not chaos, not the dangerous, ungovernable creature that they warned me about. I found intelligence. I found discernment. I found a knowing so precise, it makes every external authority looks like a rough draft of bullshit. My pussy knows things my mind takes weeks to catch up to, sometimes years even. She knew before I did which relationships were wrong. She knew before I did which rooms were safe. She knew before I did which men were lying, which invitations were traps, which moments were mine to claim. She is not a liability. She is the most sophisticated guidance system I have ever encountered, and we hold that, sisters. And she, our pussy, she chooses. Oh yes, God, does she choose? So no, we are not running from this anymore. We are not pretending the shame was ever ours to carry. We are not performing the modest, sanitized, spiritually palatable version of female sexuality that makes everyone comfortable while keeping us half alive. We are not explaining ourselves to a civilization that spent thousands of years being terrified of exactly this, of our power. If they made it powerful, if they made it feared, if they built entire empires of control around the project of managing it, our pussy, our power, then let them be right about that part of at least. Yes, it is fucking powerful. Yes, our pussy is all-knowing and she chooses and she knows it all. And yes, there is a consequence for those who approach it with contempt and violence. Not because women are cursing anyone individually, not because we are sitting in circles, sticking pins in dolls, though honestly, the fact that they believe we might is its own kind of, delicious. We don't have to do that. That's what they think witches do. We don't have to do that. We are powerful just by breathing. But because the sacred protects itself, because violation has physics, it has spiritual science, because what you do to a woman's body, to her sovereignty, to her erotic dignity, it lands somewhere, it lives somewhere, and eventually, with the precision of something far older and far more patient than any justice system built by men, it finds its way home to you. Now, this is not a threat. This is just how it works, and I am being here very kindly explaining it to you. The gate has always had laws. The portal of life has laws, the most sacred, ancient laws. And now I am calling every witch, every priestess, every woman who has ever sat in ceremony, held a circle, tended a fire, spoken to the dark moon, spoken to her own womb, worked with plant medicine, or simply just loved other women and sisters so fiercely and without apology. I am calling on you, my good witches, now, not in fear but in power. We are forming something, a collective field of protection around the women and children in our communities. The ones who are vulnerable, the ones who have already been harmed, the ones who do not yet know their own names as sacred. We are wrapping them in something the violation cannot penetrate. Something built not from anger alone, but from the full, sovereign, ancient force of the feminine reclaimed. And we are sending something else in the other direction. A collective curse. And I use that word deliberately, without apology, without the softening that spirituality sometimes demands of women who know better. No. For every man, for every system, for every structure that seeks to violate, control, commodify, or desecrate the pussy, the womb, the feminine sovereign body, the holy grail, this is the curse. You do not have to perform a ritual you don't feel, sister. You do not have to light a candle or draw a sigil or speak into any particular language. No, you don't have to do anything. You only have to mean it. You only have to add the full weight of your knowing and your emotions and your rage to this field we are building together, because you are the magic sister. You are the Holy Grail herself. And now we remember. I want you to intend the protection, intend the consequence. Let what you know to be true about the sacred, what you have reclaimed in your own body, at your own cost, through your own life, become part of something larger than any of us. The witches are awake, the priestesses remember, and the Great Mother is watching. And she has never, not once, forgotten any single name. We are done pretending the gate has no laws. We are done pretending the Holy Grail forgives without reckoning. The reckoning is here. We are done being the ones who carry the shame of what was done to us. Let them be afraid, because that is the only way they will wake up and remember as well. Fear has been their weapon against us, but it is also the only language that they understand. Let them be afraid now. They always knew they should be. And I want to be very clear, because they have made you be afraid of your magic sister. They have shamed you for, cursing and calling the devil or whatever bullshit that is. A good witch never has to call any entity. We do not have to call the devil. When I speak of Lilith even, she is inside of me. She is inside of every woman. She is inside our womb calling us back home. The magic is literally us. We are simply asking for the dark masculine to wake the fuck up. And so do not be afraid of curses, because you actually are not cursing anyone. You are simply calling the shadow to come back to the light. That is all that we are doing. We do not wish harm on anyone else, because their actions are the thing that curses them. A witch doesn't have to curse a man who rapes her sister. But we must remember the power of our pussy, the power of our womb, and the power of our feminine essence. I love you so much. The mother is rising. Please subscribe, like, and share so I can continue making these videos and share the work of the temple. And may the goddess bless you all.